I'm Vidisha and I welcome you to today's session. You've already done phrases, haven't you? So what do you think it is time to move on to? Yes, you can now start learning about sentences. So in today's session, what are the objectives? We'll define sentences. We'll also take a look at the kinds of sentences, followed by some examples and exercises to reinforce what you've learned. So let's start by defining a sentence. What do you think is a sentence? Yes, a sentence has words, doesn't it? What do you use the words for? Yes, to convey an idea or a thought that you have. So put in very simple words, the meaning of a sentence is a group of words expressing a complete thought. See how important the word complete thought is? Because if it is not a complete thought that is being conveyed, then it's not a sentence. Then it is a phrase. That's right. So let's look at what a sentence is in detail. A sentence is a series of words that explore one idea. And it starts with a capital letter. Always starts with a capital letter. Remember that. Now a series of words that ends with a full stop. So it begins with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. It usually has a subject, an object and a verb. For example, let's take up a simple small sentence like the dog bit the cat. So what is the verb here? The verb here is bit because it's an action taking place. Who bit? The dog bit. So the dog is the subject, the verb is bit, and who has the action been committed on? On the cat. So the cat is the object. When you are in doubt as to what is a correct sentence to use and what is not, remember, write short sentences with a subject, a verb and an object. Leave out the flowery or over-the-top descriptive words. Stick to a simple sentence like, the dog bit the cat. Let's look at some examples of sentences. Ritu is a great dancer. So this is a sentence which is conveying that Ritu बहुत अच्छी dancer है. It's a complete sentence and makes sense by itself. So who are we talking about? We're talking about Ritu. And what is she? She is a great dancer. The next sentence is, I like to play cricket. Notice how the letter I is capital and after cricket you will see a full stop. These sentences are given in your workbook, so take a good look. I like to play cricket. So we are expressing a thought. मुझे cricket खेलना पसंद है. This is the thought that's being conveyed. Ruchi is a pretty girl. So Ruchi is the subject and we are saying that she is a pretty girl. Blue is my favorite color. What is your name? Now, are you surprised that this is also a sentence? You're thinking this is a question. Yes, questions are also a form of sentences, which we're going to study in today's session later. But for now, this is also a sentence. It begins with a capital letter and ends with a question mark. Let's now look at the types of sentences that are there. The first type is declarative sentence. What is a declarative sentence? A declarative sentence makes a statement. It ends with a period. That means there has to be a full stop at the end of a declarative sentence. For example, the house will be built on a hill. It begins with a capital T and ends with a full stop. So there is a declaration being made here or a statement being given here. The house will be built on a hill. The next type is interrogative. An interrogative sentence asks a question. Does this clarify your doubt? Now, when we ask a question, you must always remember to end the sentence with a question mark, not with a full stop. For example, how did you find the card? Question mark. आपको कार्ड कैसा लगा? That's right. The next type of sentence is the exclamatory sentence. What is an exclamation? When you have strong feelings, whether they are positive or negative, you use an exclamation. For example, you say, wow, or you say, oh no. So an exclamatory sentence shows strong feelings. An exclamatory sentence must always end with an exclamation mark. Let's look at an example. The monster is attacking, and then you follow it by an exclamation mark. Now you can't simply say the monster is attacking. No, it's an exclamation. You have strong feelings. The monster is attacking. That's right. So it is an exclamation and must always end with an exclamatory mark. Let's look at the next type of sentences, the imperative. An imperative sentence gives a command. For example, Chetan, try the other door. So you're commanding Chetan to try the other door, not the one that he is trying, but another door. Sometimes the subject of an imperative sentence is understood and it is not spoken. For example, if we did not use the name Chetan, we cannot say you try the other door. So we just say try the other door and the subject you is understood. Otherwise, it may sound rude if the tone is rude. For example, look in the closet. Now look in the closet is an imperative sentence where the subject you is understood. Closet, of course, is what contains clothes, doesn't it? Okay, moving forward, let's now summarize the various types of sentences and look at examples. So what is a declarative sentence? Okay, yes, a declarative sentence makes a statement. And what must the sentence end with? Correct. It must always end with a period. That is, there must always be a full stop. Let's look at an example. Rice is a popular food. So this is just a statement. We're not asking a question. We are not exclaiming anything. It is just a statement. Rice is a popular food. Full stop. Let's now look at an interrogative sentence. What does it do? It asks a question. And what must you end the question with? Perfect. You must always end it with a question mark. For example, are there many rice farmers in America? This is a question, meaning क्या अमेरिका में बहुत सारे rice farmers हैं? So it must be followed by a question mark. Let's now look at the imperative. The imperative gives a command or it may make a request. It always ends with a full stop. For example, begin harvesting the wheat tomorrow. Full stop. Now, is this a command or is this a request? It's a command. And if you say, please pass me the glass of water, then it is a request and it is an imperative sentence which must always end with a full stop. Let's look at the exclamatory sentences. What are the exclamatory sentences used for? That's right. These are used to express strong feelings. And what must you end this type of a sentence with? You must always end it with an exclamation mark. How beautiful the waving wheat looks. So this is an exclamation. When you see something very beautiful, you exclaim with joy. And you must have the exclamation mark in the end. Let's now do an exercise. I'm going to speak few sentences and you have to identify the kind of sentence that it is. I'll give you two options and you have to choose the correct one. Sentence 1. Many foods today were first found in the New World. Full stop. Many foods today were first found in the New World. Full stop. Is this a declarative sentence or is it an interrogative sentence? The answer is declarative. That's right. Let's look at the next sentence now. Potatoes come from Peru. And Peru is the name of a place. Is this a declarative sentence or an interrogative sentence? Potatoes come from Peru. Full stop. Yes, it's a declarative sentence. Chocolate was a favorite food of the people of Mexico. Chocolate was a favorite food of the people of Mexico. Full stop. Is this declarative or is it interrogative? No, it's a declarative sentence, isn't it? We're just giving a fact. Chocolate was a favorite food of the people of Mexico. We're not asking a question, are we? Let's look at the next sentence. How many kinds of squash did the Native Americans grow? How many kinds of squash did the Native Americans grow? There's a question mark at the end of this sentence. Yes, you've guessed it right. It's the interrogative question, where we're asking a question. Do you know what Native Americans are? They're the original people who lived in America before other people arrived in America. Let's look at the next sentence. Wild rice is a special kind of plant. Yes, it's a declarative sentence, not an interrogative. Does anyone know the origins of the hot dog? Question mark. I'll repeat. Does anyone know the origins of the hot dog? Yes, it's an interrogative sentence where we are asking the question that does anyone know about the origins of the hot dog, and it ends with a question mark also. Yams were brought to America from Africa. Yams were brought to America from Africa. Correct. It's a declarative sentence, not a question. The next sentence is, what kind of cloth is used to make a curtain? What kind of cloth is used to make a curtain? Yes, it's a question, so it's an interrogative sentence. We're asking the question, किस तरह के कपड़े से पर्दे बनाए जाते हैं? So it's a question. Where were the peanuts first grown? Where were the peanuts first grown? Correct. It's not declarative, it is interrogative. We're asking the question. Look at that strange mask. Now, is this an imperative sentence or an exclamatory sentence? Look at that strange mask. Yes, it's an imperative. We're not exclaiming anything. We are asking someone to do something. We're ordering the person. Look at that strange mask. So it's an imperative sentence. What a great disguise that is, followed by an exclamation mark. Yes, it's an exclamatory sentence, not an imperative, because you're making an exclamation. You are impressed with the great disguise that is there. You really fooled me! Exclamatory mark. Correct. Once again, this is an exclamatory sentence because here you have strong feelings about the person who has fooled you, and it is followed by an exclamatory mark. So it is an exclamatory sentence. Put the costume on quickly. Is it an imperative or an exclamatory sentence? Put the costume on quickly. Yes, it's an imperative because you are giving a command. Please tie my shoes for me. Is it imperative or exclamatory? Please tie my shoes for me. Correct, it is still an imperative sentence. Even though you're not making a command, you're making a request. Now, if you noticed, in some of the questions, I actually told you what the punctuation mark was at the end, and sometimes I didn't. Initially, I was giving you the punctuation mark, and that probably helped you identify the correct type of sentence. But later, I stopped doing that because you were getting better and better in your understanding. Okay, now let's do an exercise so that we can check how far you've got with your learning. Now, in real life, it's not going to be about just picking up a sentence, speaking a sentence, and wondering what type of a sentence it is. In real life, people will speak a sentence and you will speak another sentence, and that is how conversations take place. So let's look at a scenario where there is something happening and you have to choose the correct option. So I will read out a sentence to you. You will have various options to pick your answer from, so choose carefully. The first sentence is, Jayant had an accident last night. Your options are A. I'm sorry to hear that. B. That's terrific. And C. He must be proud of it. What do you think is the right answer? Well, those of you who said A, I'm sorry to hear that, yes, that's the right answer. You cannot say that's terrific because that's an exclamation of joy. You're being happy, that's terrific. Now, you will not say that to a person who's just met with an accident, will you? And you also can't say he must be proud of it. Why would someone be proud of meeting with an accident? The correct option, in fact, is to express the fact that you're feeling sorry about it. So it is A, I'm sorry to hear that. And what sort of a sentence is I'm sorry to hear that? Yes, it's just a statement. So it is a declarative sentence. Correct. Let's look at the next statement. Their plane should be here in no time. Their plane should be here in no time. And your options are A. Let's wait for them at the main lobby. Let's wait for them at the main lobby. B. Let's come back tomorrow. C. Let's see if they're at the lobby. Okay, look at the next sentence now. Give me a call when you get back from your trip. This is given in your workbook, so you can look at it carefully now. Give me a call when you get back from your trip. And the answers that you have to choose from are A. I'm sorry to hear that. B. I'll surely do that. And C. Why should you call me? Which option do you think is the correct option in this case? Look carefully. Right, the next sentence. If you have 10 marbles and you take 5 away, then you add 3 to that number, how many marbles do you have? I'll repeat. If you have 10 marbles and you take 5 away, then you add 3 to that number, how many marbles do you have? Your options are A. None is left. B. 8 of course. C. That's easy. I have 18. Right. The next sentence is, the game ended in a tie. The game ended in a tie. And your options are A. What a bargain. B. Who bought the tie? And C. How come? Now look very carefully at what your options are. Try to understand the context in which this statement has been made and then choose your answer. Also, take a look at the various types of sentences that these three are and then choose your option. So I'll repeat the options. A. What a bargain. B. Who bought the tie? And C. How come? Let's now move forward to the next sentence. What did Meeta do when her father gave her the stuffed animal? What did Meeta do when her father gave her the stuffed animal? Your options are she cuddled it. B. She called the Animal Protection Department. And C. She phoned the police. Try and understand the statement clearly before you choose your options. What did Meeta do when her father gave her the stuffed animal? Did she cuddle it? Or did she call the Animal Protection Department? Or C, she phoned the police? The next sentence is, Kirti can speak 3 foreign languages. And your options are A, she must be tired. B, she must be a talented girl. C, she surely knows the ropes. A, she must be tired. B, she must be a talented girl. Or C, she surely knows the ropes. Let's look at the next sentence. Bijay flunked the exams. Flunked, of course, means to fail exams. Bijay flunked the exams. Your options are A, he must be really upset. B, it should be getting better soon. C, he must have studied a lot. I'll repeat the options. A, he must be really upset. B, it should be getting better soon. He must have studied a lot is the third option. So which one will you pick? Let's look at the next sentence. We'd like some vanilla ice cream, please. A, what flavor would you like? B, rare or well done? C, sorry, we ran out of vanilla. I'll repeat your options. What flavor would you like? That's A. B, rare or well done? C, sorry, we ran out of vanilla. The next sentence is, my TV isn't working. The answers could be A, we've already called a repairman. He should be here soon. Or B, okay, I'll call you later. C, why don't you watch something else? Which one do you think is the correct answer? Look carefully at your options in your workbooks. Okay, now let's see how far you've gone and how well you've done. Let's look at the answers now. For the first sentence, Jayant had an accident last night. The correct option was A. I'm sorry to hear that. And we've already discussed why that is the right answer. Let's move on to the next sentence now. Their plane should be here in no time. What have you marked as the right answer? It should be A. Let's wait for them at the main lobby. Why? Because you can't say, let's come back tomorrow. Their plane is going to reach very soon. The expression should be here in no time means very, very soon. You also can't say, let's see if they are at the lobby. They can't be at the lobby because they are going to reach soon, but they haven't already reached. So see how the context has to be understood. Only then can you choose the correct response. Unfortunately, most people do not try to understand the context of the conversation, and they just think they are speaking correct sentences, therefore they should be understood correctly, and they should be considered as efficient speakers of the English language. But that is not the case. So if you look at this sentence, their plane should be here in no time. What should be the right option? Yes, it has to be A. Let's wait for them at the main lobby. Let's look at the next sentence now. Give me a call when you get back from your trip. And the correct answer is B. I'll surely do that. When you're going somewhere and someone is worried about you, they tell you, oh, please give me a call when you get back, when you reach home or you're finished with your trip. You can't be rude and say, why should you call me? Or why should I call you? You also wouldn't say, I'm sorry to hear that, because why should you be sorry in this case? There's nothing to be sorry about. So the correct response is B. I'll surely do that. Let's look at the next sentence now. If you have 10 marbles and you take 5 away, then you add 3 to that number. How many marbles do you have? Now I'm sure for this one, all of you got your answers right. It has to be B. 8, of course, because 8 is the right answer. The game ended in a tie. You have to understand, what does the word tie here mean? Is it a tie which is worn by people with a shirt? Or is it a tie as in the match ends in a tie, which means both the parties have equal number of points or goals depending on the game. For example, if it's a game of football and both sides have equal number of goals, then it is a tie. If in cricket both have equal scores or equal wickets, then it's a tie. So that is what the word tie means over here. Therefore, the correct answer cannot be what a bargain. You're not buying anything, are you? You also can't say who bought the tie, because you're not talking about a tie which is worn with a shirt. You can ask the question, how come? How did the game end in a tie? What was the reason? The next sentence is, what did Meeta do when her father gave her the stuffed animal? Now tell me something, what is a stuffed animal? Is it a real animal? No, by stuffed animal we're talking about a soft toy. A toy which looks like an animal and it is stuffed with some soft substance. This is normally what children play with, don't they? So why would she call the Animal Protection Department? Therefore, B is not the right option. Now is C the right option? Will she call the police? No. So the correct option is she cuddled it. Cuddle means the action of expressing your love by holding something tight and lovingly. So this is how the context of what we are saying has to be understood correctly. Only then can you choose the right response. Can you see that now? Right, let's move forward now. Kirti can speak 3 foreign languages. What is the option that's correct? It is B. She must be a talented girl. Why B? Because you're appreciating the talent that she has. You can't say she must be tired. You also can't say she surely knows the ropes. What does the expression knowing the ropes mean? It means being very clever in the sense knowing how to use resources and get to your goal. It's not necessarily in a very positive sense. Sometimes it's used in a negative sense as well. So more appropriately, we will call Kirti a talented girl for knowing languages. That's right. The next sentence is, Vijay flunked the exams. Correct response would be A. He must be really upset. Now, if someone had failed the exams, they would be upset. You can't say it should get better soon because the results cannot get better. They have already been declared. C is he must have studied a lot. Do you think that's the right option? No, we can't choose this option. So A is the right option. He must be really upset. How about the next sentence now? We'd like some vanilla ice cream, please. Vanilla, of course, is the flavor of the ice cream we're talking about. So the first question is, what flavor would you like? Do you think this is intelligent? No, because the flavor has already been mentioned, isn't it? Which flavor does the person want? Vanilla. So we can't ask, what flavor would you like? What about the second option? Rare or well done? What do you think these two words mean? Well, rare means something that is not found easily. Well done is something you say for doing an action well. But it is also used in another sense. For example, when you order something hot, for example, a pizza, then you may ask the person who's ordering, do you like it rare or well done? Now in this case, rare means बहुत ज़्यादा पका हुआ नहीं, and well done means काफ़ी कड़क. So this is the meaning of rare and well done in this context. So will you say that for ice cream? No, ice cream can't be rare or well done. So you will say, C, sorry, we ran out of vanilla. That's the correct response. Let's look at the next sentence now. My TV isn't working. What is the right answer to this? Yes, it's A. We've already called a repairman. He should be soon here. It can't be B. Okay, I'll call you later, because there is no need to call anybody later. It's about a TV that is not working and you need to get a repairman. The option C is, why don't you watch something else? How can you watch something when the TV isn't working? That's right. So this is how you understand a statement. Then choose your options, because only then can you choose the correct option. Friends, wasn't this an effective exercise? You actually learned that you must understand the context in which something is spoken, understand the meaning of what is spoken, and then respond correctly to it. If you keep practicing in this manner, it will help you a lot in your spoken English. Okay, this brings us to the end of today's session. Let's now quickly do a recap of what we've done today. We started off with understanding what a sentence is. So what is a sentence? That's correct. It's a group of words expressing a complete thought. We also learned that a sentence must always start with a capital letter and must always end with the correct punctuation mark, whether that's a full stop, question mark, or the exclamatory mark. Now a sentence is of course a series of words that explores one idea. It usually has a subject, an object, and a verb. For example, the dog bit the cat. Dog is the subject, bit is the verb, and cat is the object. When you're in doubt about the sentence that you're forming, try and write short sentences so that you don't get it wrong. You may have a sentence with a subject, a verb, and an object, just like the simple sentence, the dog bit the cat. Try and leave out the flowery or over-the-top descriptive words. We also did various kinds of sentences. The declarative sentence, which makes a statement and which must always end with a full stop. For example, rice is a popular food. Sita is a nice girl. Let's look at the interrogative sentences now. What are interrogative sentences? Yes, they do the job of asking a question, and therefore they must always end with a question mark. For example, how are you? Question mark. Let's look at the next type of sentence, which is imperative sentence. In imperative sentences, you're using the sentence to give a command or make a request, and this must always end with a full stop. For example, go there and pick up the object. Now this is a command. Please get me a glass of water. This is a request, but both are imperative sentences. Let's look at the exclamatory sentence. When do we use an exclamatory sentence? Yes, it's used when you're expressing strong positive or negative feelings. And what must it end with? Correct, an exclamatory mark. For example, wow, this is beautiful. Or, what have you done? The first is positive and the second is a negative exclamation. Right, you also did many exercises where you picked the correct kind of classification of sentences. You heard a sentence and then you decided whether it was imperative, exclamatory, interrogative or declarative. This is what we did in today's session. Now in the next session we are going to carry forward with our understanding of sentences. So practice what you've learned today so that you can master this and then move on to the second part of sentences. Goodbye for today.